Today, we're going to talk about a new project that is launching on February 20th. So, in 3 days from now, we're going to be talking about Factor DAO. But before we do, I just want to go over what is happening currently on the Arbitrum network. We're seeing a lot of money come into this ecosystem, and we've seen so many projects do very, very well over the last few weeks, or actually in the beginning of 2023 up until now. We've had Vila, we've had Zyber, we've had a bunch of different ones. And again, DeFi Llama is going to be your friend to find new projects. But if we just take a look at the amount of TVL into Arbitrum, we can see back in the later parts of 2022, we were under $1 billion in total TVL. And as we can see over the year of 2023 and up until today, we are now at $1.69 billion. So there's about $600 to $700 million that have come into this ecosystem in the last month and a half or so. So you can understand that all of these projects that are launching on Arbitrum are going to have a lot of focus on them. There's a lot of new money coming in, and who knows what can happen with these projects. Again, all of these projects, you have to do your own research on them. Don't just invest in them because I'm investing in them, but obviously do your own research. And like I've mentioned a few here, Swap, it's at $13 now. We got in when it was about $5.50. Vila, we are in at $1.50. It's now at about $7. Someone in the community actually pointed out Solid Lizard when it was around 10 cents. That's now up to 30 cents. And this is a solidly fork. So there are so many projects coming out, but the one we're talking about today is called Factor DAO. And now this is not a sponsored video. I am not getting paid by the team to make this video. This is just me doing my own research. And in the Discord that we have, there's a link down in the description below if you want to join. But in that Discord, we're always talking about new projects, and we were indeed talking about Factor. So Factor DAO is a new project launching on Arbitrum. Their token is going to be called FCTR. Like I said, this is going to publicly launch on February 20th. But this is a new project that is an on-chain asset management tool that's basically going to revolutionize DeFi, in my opinion. And the reason I say that is because I'm super excited about one of their products. They are going to offer 3 different products. So they have the tokenized baskets, they have the yield aggregation, and they also have hedged strategies. But what I'm super excited about is this tokenized baskets, where people can actually create their own pool with different strategies or different tokens, and then people like yourselves, like myself, can actually decide to invest in these pools, and these pools are all going to be managed for you. So hypothetically, I could go ahead and create my own pool. I could have a bunch of different projects that I'm personally invested in. I create a pool on Factor DAO, and then if people are obviously willing to participate in the same pool as I am, well, then you can essentially put your money in that pool, and then we're kind of all invested together on the same pool that was essentially built out by its creator. So it's super interesting to see that they've come up with this idea. Again, this is going to take some time before it launches. Then they also have yield aggregation, and they also have hedged strategies. These are 2 common things, common products that other DeFi projects may or may not have. But again, the tokenized baskets for me is probably the #1 thing I'm looking for. And if we go on to Factor's Twitter profile, they are going to be launching on Camelot Dex. That's probably 1 or 2 of the biggest dexes on Arbitrum. So like I said, February 20th, that's going to be launching publicly. But now if we go into the documentations and kind of understand a bit more what these products are and exactly how this works, what are the tokenomics and all of that good stuff, the first thing you need to understand is, of course, let's dive in straight into the tokenomics. What is this? How many tokens are there? There's going to be 100 million tokens at the end of it. That's the max supply. This is obviously going to be inflationary at first. So if we take a look at where are these going to, we have about 10% for the public sale, which is happening again February 20th. We have 15% for the team, which is vested over 24 months. Then we have ecosystem incentives. So these are obviously if you are locking up your Factor token, you get more tokens and you get a percentage of the fees that this platform is making. They obviously had some sort of a pre-sale, about 4.2% for community bootstrapping, and they have 50% in treasury reserves. And those tokens are going to be vested over 3.5 years for DAO contributor compensations. So obviously, if you are participating in this ecosystem, you are going to get some rewards, but all of these are vested over time. And if we go ahead and we take a look at the emissions schedule, here it says the full circulating supply of those 100 million Factor tokens is essentially going to take 3.5 years before they are all in circulating supply. So as I said, this is not happening overnight. These incentives, these tokens are being vested over a period of time. And obviously you just have to take into account that there are going to be at one point in time about 100 million tokens in circulation. Now, if we go ahead and we talk about the Factor DAO products and what they're going to be bringing on to their ecosystem, we can touch on the tokenized baskets. And this is where I am super interested in this, because we are talking about people like yourselves, like myself, creating a tokenized basket of different strategies, whether or not these are passive, whether or not these are active, whether or not these include specific projects or yield-bearing tokens, or whatever the case may be. If you want to, you are going to be able to create that basket, which is essentially like an ETF of all of your different strategies, whether active or passive, through a vault creation on Factor, and you are going to be able to then manage this tokenized basket, and people who want to invest in that basket that you created can definitely go ahead and do so. Now, as the creator of this tokenized basket, you are going to be able to charge a certain fee for people providing their liquidity into your basket. And this is where I still have questions. I'm not exactly sure how it's all going to work, but this is super interesting because it allows people to get creative and obviously have different strategies within different tokenized baskets. So that's what I am super excited for. Now, if we go to the yield pools, as we know, yield farming is pretty much the same regardless of where you're doing it. So here on Factor DAO, you are going to be able to yield farm as well. There's going to be borrowing, there's going to be lending, and all of that good stuff as well. And lastly, if we talked about the derivatives program, we have derivatives here, so you are going to be able to participate in market neutral strategies, all via Factor's ecosystem, and you're going to be able to participate in this as well as those yield pools and as well as those tokenized baskets. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I'm going to leave you on their roadmap. So as we know, Q1 2023, we are essentially there right now. So we're going to have Genesis vaults, we're going to have preset vaults, as well as Arbitrum vaults. Then in Q2, we have the LP vaults, the partner vaults, and the integrations suite. Q3 2023, this is where the creator vaults come into play. Again, maybe this partner vault is people who are partnered with a project are going to be able to create those tokenized baskets. And then in Q3, yourselves or myself or whoever else wants to create a vault will be able to do so, as it mentions the creators vault. And in Q4 of 2023, they have SDK release, seamless Factor integration, white label vaults, and onwards they are potentially going multi-chain. So that's Factor DAO in a nutshell. I wanted to give you a brief overview of this project. Again, there's a whole lot more information. You guys need to do your own research on this. Join the Discord, we'll chat about it. Not a sponsored video by any means. Do your own research before you invest in anything. And this is launching on February 20th. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.